playing drum workshop since basically 1995. So the first tour he did with it was the Red Sparkle with Cuss for Echo. And then we progressed. We used that for Vapor Trails as well, and then we went into R30. We had the custom-built kit with the logos and the Rush logos and everything on it. And then we went into the Snakes and Arrows, which you guys have probably seen all the drum sets. So that, and this is where we've ended up. The only kit you probably haven't seen is the NHL kit, which he had built for Hockey Night in Canada, which is over in Canada. You don't get it over here, but it's like religion in Canada, of course. I'm Canadian, by the way. And my team is in the finals, so I'm very happy. But anyways, so that's the only kit we haven't toured with from DW. This is the new Time Machine kit. Louis spent so much time on building this, or finishing this. It's what it is it's a one-ply walnut on the outside of it, which we match with the deck. They're all maple shells. It's a mixture of VLT, VLX, and X shells. X shells on the top end. Halfway through the toms, it's VLT, and then VLX on the rear, and then VLX on the 23-inch kick drum. VLT snare drums. Of course, we have Sabian, which he's been playing since '03. When they first designed the first Paragons, which was the natural finish Paragons. Now we've got the brilliant Paragons now, which are just awesome cymbals. What they've done with the buffing and everything, because what I used to have to do is I clean the cymbals every day. With the natural finish, after about, say, 6 or 7 shows, I'd pretty much have them down to a brilliant finish anyways from taking the metal out of it. But the only drawback of that was they would break, because you're drawing metal out every time you're pushing on that cymbal and getting it clean and everything. You're drawing there's black on the towels, and that is actually metal that you're pulling out of it. So they would eventually break. With these ones, they buff them at the factory, and they make them so much more durable that I have had this set of cymbals up here since the start of this leg of the tour, which started in Florida 2 months ago, and he does hit very hard. We're using the coated clear heads on the toms. I'm using an Ambassador X coated on the snare now. We used to use the regular Ambassadors, but these are a lot more durable as well. They don't sound so great brand new, so what I do is I rotate the snare drums during our sound checks and get them to that point where they start sounding good. They don't sound real dense, but the durability of them is a lot better than a regular Ambassador from Remo. Getting back to the cymbals, we've got the Alchemy, as well as the gears on the top of the cymbals. As you will see, basically for the reason we've got an overhead camera. So it just plays with the steampunk theme of the whole show, basically, It's all the same kind of stuff on the shells, if you look close enough. It's all copper leaf, chrome leaf inlays that Louis has done. And then there's about 10 clear coats with serious buffing between each coat on each shell. So Louis spent many man hours on it, on doing this, on doing the shells, and then of course he had to match the deck to it. So, and it came out absolutely stunning, as you can see. So that's the acoustic kit up front here. Of course, it's all DW hardware, copper plated. These were all Neil's idea, and DW were kind enough to run out to the closest hardware store and try and get some of this stuff, and then send it to the platers. And it's just an added look to it, And as we see with the gauges on here, and we don't have the usual DW clutch and grab units. We've got all this kind of stuff. It's a little bit more difficult to deal with because I've still got this one on here, but to get them actually straight, you're dealing with white metal, so you can break those things off if you try too hard with them. But Neil has been using the procedure of us screwing into the drum boards since about mid-'80s when he came up with that idea, when he was still playing the Tamas. And we've gone with the idea, we've perfected it over the years. We have DW do all the threading on the bottom, and then I do all the flanges that we do to the decks. All this stuff here is from a guy, Greg Russell, who also helped design the video panels, a prop company in Hollywood, as well as Greg Russell and Neil's ideas came up with this. We've got video screens underneath here. It's the same idea as we've got through here. Everybody's got their own footage that they played. This is all V-drum and TD20KX. What I've done is we used the stock pads the first year that I had him playing Roland, which was the Vapor Trails kit. And it didn't matter too much because it was a red finish on those old pads, as you probably remember. And it kind of matched the red kit. So we just left it like that. What I do now is I get the triggers. Roland sends me the kits, and then I take the triggers out, and I have DW build shells, and we mount them into that. And we go as far as making little bass drums, which we call Wendy. We just came up with the name. I don't know what the hell we were thinking that day, but we came up with Wendy, so it stuck. So that's also a trigger in that one. So they basically build the shells for us, and then I do all the work once I get all the shells. And this is all done between basically the design of the kit and the build of the kit, and then we will go into California rehearsal place, and we'll take the drum set, and I'll have maybe a weekend or whatever, 3 or 4 days to get it ready for Neil to come in, and whether we have to build new drum boards or whatever, we always use the same rotating riser we have for probably 12 years. It got mangled once in South America, but we managed to get it fixed. But this thing is only the second one that they have fabricated for the rotating riser. Pretty much that's it. If you come over here, it's all 9,000 bass drum pedals. They're Fat Cat trigger pedals on the floor, and the 5,000 hi-hat. He calls this his MIDI marimba, but it's an actual Mallet Cat Express that Louis tried to copperize, and came pretty close to it. Still the ProMark 747 sticks, in the Time Machine colors this time, which he tries to get with every different tour. Coming over here is my rack. This is where I hide. It's all pretty straightforward. It's kind of antique-like because a lot of the stuff is not your high-end modern day type of stuff, because it all works for us. And we're not using laptops. We're not using laptops for samples for Getty or guitars or anything like that. It's all hard drives and actual samplers. XB5080s in the bottom, which are old Rolands. The Glyph hard drives, Project X, and then the TD20KX. And these things you cannot find anywhere. They're MIDI displays, and I can actually see him play the MIDI note on the V-drum stuff while he's doing his solo. So if you were to, and actually Jack Secret's got that over there for the keyboards as well, but you see every MIDI note on these things, and you cannot find these things anywhere, even on eBay. So we like to think that we've got the only ones in the world.